Whether on a business trip or on the lam, saving money on costly motel rooms is a must, especially if your limited budget is exclusive to indulging in terrible, terrible vices. That's why it's important to maintain a network of good-natured but naive acquaintances in neighboring cities. These poor saps should be more than willing to host you, letting you stay in their beds, on their couches, or beneath their boats. But these such acquaintances are hard to come by. In order to stay in your host's good books, consider the historically proven method known as upkeepsmanship, a belief system amongst traveling maintenance people revolving around the idea that one should leave a home in better shape than when they found it. This will surely result in a happier host, and therefore, more invites to stay. The arrival. As a good house guest, greet your host with euphoric jubilation. Bearing a small practical gift will create the illusion that you appreciate his hospitality. The host will then introduce his family. Realizing time is of the essence, you will feign interest in these introductions while you secretly map out your emergency escape routes. Polite conversation. Conduct some light small talk to break the ice with the host family. This will hopefully ease their concerns about you and your fervent refusal to explain who you are or why you're staying in their house. Mealtime. As a good house guest, offer to help with the cooking of all meals. When rebuked, you should insist. Often, this insistence will be met with refusal. A shouting match will almost certainly ensue. Now angry, you will then force yourself into the cooking process. Allow your heightened emotions to fuel your cooking. Always remember, let the secret ingredient be spite. Getting comfortable. Any host worth his salt will go out of his way to make you feel at home. But before allowing yourself to get comfortable, you should acquaint yourself with the rest of the family. Many elementary school children have failed to give much thought toward their spiritual choices. Being goodly and pious, you should force your radical religious beliefs on the children whenever your host is out of earshot. Adolescence can be an awkward time. A good houseguest is ever sympathetic to this. Compliment your host's teenage daughter on her fine figure and budding femininity. Nothing builds positive body image in a young woman better than attention from an adult friend of the family. By this time, you'll practically be a member of the family, and you can proceed to purge Baroque style on their suede sectional. Sleep time. The standard visitor sleep accommodation is the pull-out couch. Knowing the unreliable rest most hideaway beds provide, you should craftily fake an ailment in hopes of parlaying your sleep comfort. Faking a bad knee will relocate the host's youngest into a sleeping bag, giving you free reign of his bunk bed. A trick spine will have the host and spouse braving the sofa bed, while surrendering to you their king-size 4-poster. Your best bet is to claim past episodes of sporadic sleep-induced full-body stigmata. Not only will your host purchase you a new mattress, but also several weatherproof tarps. Household chores. Helping out around the house while your hosts are at work is always a nice gesture. If there are no obvious chores that need completing, get creative. Most families are content to feed their dogs just once a day. An overly fed dog is an overly happy dog, so make an effort to feed the family pooch at all hours of the day. If you run out of dog chow, you can substitute with vaguely food-like objects. After you've tired of rifling through your host family's personal effects, and the dog has stopped responding to sensory stimuli, try occupying yourself with a project of your own, like erasing your identity. Homeowners are often confronted with unexpected tasks, like the disposal of a deceased pet due to gastrolytic vasculation. Helping your host is not only polite, it's your duty. The departure. Your visit has finally come to an end. Those 9 weeks just flew by. Wake up bizarrely early on your last morning in your host's house. This will give you time to cook yourself a grandiose 4-course breakfast and rack up a few last-minute long-distance phone calls. Timing your exit can be a tricky task. The longer you stay, the more time your host has to assess the damage you have done to his home. Leave quickly, but try not to make it look as though you are fleeing. Make your goodbyes brief and loving. You may feel sad as you walk away, but just listen to that merry tune of the keys you copied jingling in your pocket.
Tutorialist!
This to be your events in it.